Alright, so we got the Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion release date trailer dropped, and I thought I would do a quick little breakdown to kind of give my thoughts on what we saw and what some of the stuff in the trailer might mean. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content, throw a like on the video, helps out a ton, helps other people see my stuff. Without further ado, let's get right into this breakdown. So right from the start, we're thrown right into the fray with the opening of the game. I've said before, I think these CG renders, I think they're the same cutscenes, the same FMVs from the original game, just upscaled for current screens, especially on PS5. They would look really bad if they weren't upscaled. But the character designs aren't changed at all. They still kind of have that kind of softer, fluffy tone to them, which is in direct contrast to the new designs in the game. So the FMVs for the summons are absolutely redone. But these regular FMVs you see throughout the game and that you'll see throughout the trailer, I believe you'll see and agree with me that these are not redone. If these are in fact the final FMVs that make it into the game, which they may not be, they may surprise us, but I think these are the final FMVs and I don't think we're getting new ones. Now the combat in the game looks great, and the HUD, the menu at the bottom left, is redesigned to look more in line with Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I thought was a great touch. And the digital mind wave at the top, in the top left, it's redone and it's not too obtuse. And as you see from this video here with the battle with Sephiroth and Genesis, you can absolutely see that this is just the old FMVs kind of, you know, upscaled a bit. This is the old Sephiroth design with the huge eyelashes, and the same design for Genesis. So this right here is the battle with Genesis and Zack in the when he confronts Hollander right before Genesis disappears and he's thought to be dead. This is the first real confrontation between Zack and Genesis in the game. I thought it was nice for him to add this because Genesis, with throwing his attacks out there, he kind of has this Dracula vibe from Castlevania that I'm totally digging. And this, of course, is Zack and Sephiroth at the Nibelheim reactor. Great touch. All the new redone character designs for the monsters and things like that. Look at this Marlboro. Everything looks great. The battle, the system looks great. And they've added a few things, as you can see. It looks like they're going to be adding some little surprises in here for us. I like this right here. This is Zack casting Apocalypse level 5, most likely. I like this because right here you can see, just like in the original game, when he casts it, you can see text from Loveless in there. And a lot of people I saw originally thought that they caught this. They thought this was some kind of Genesis attack. No, this is Apocalypse. This is just like the original. You can see the words of Loveless written in there, and written in English too, which is just like the original. So I thought this was pretty wild. Nothing shall forestall my return, and different things that Genesis says from the Loveless play throughout the game. I thought this was really wild. And the different insignias and different, we're gonna break this kind of stuff down in a different video, a completely different video. We're gonna start talking about Loveless and the meaning and all that kind of thing, and my take on it. But I thought this was really cool to see in the trailer. This is probably one of the coolest things I saw in the trailer. And we'll talk about here in a second with Angeal as well. But the Buster Sword, they have made every effort to make sure, and even in the cutscenes too, to make sure that the Buster Sword looks just like the remake Buster Sword. That is one thing they've changed in the FMVs, is they've changed the Buster Sword. Whenever you see it, they've made every effort to change that. But other than that, it's the same FMVs. Now, redone Ifrit summon right here. The FMV for him coming out, and then Odin, of course, looking amazing. Now right here, as you can see, this right here, of course, is what I'm talking about. This is the bombing of Benora, of course, pretty early on in the game when this happens. This is what I'm talking about with the FMVs.
You're a little more important than my sword.
Right here, the Buster Sword. It is the Final Fantasy VII Remake Buster Sword.
Color of the sky, right?
Zack talking about the color of soldiers' eyes. Of course, Cloud here. All the story points here. And I'll tell you what, Zack's voice, I've not been one of the people that's been hating on it, but it's starting to grow on me for sure. It's absolutely growing on me. And if you pay attention to Sephiroth's character design here, look right here. It's the mail, the chain mail underneath of his pauldrons. It's the Final Fantasy VII Remake design for Sephiroth. Now, a lot of people have asked me what I think the importance is of the Buster Sword looking like it does in Remake, and then some of the character designs being updated like they are in Remake. I think with Crisis Core Reunion, I really feel like it's just a matter of them aesthetically updating the assets of the game to be more in line with Final Fantasy VII Remake. As of right now, I don't feel like this is anything more than, you could explain it with like, this is the Final Fantasy VII Remake time loop. Like I've told you before, I think that they are working on a premise of cyclical time loops. Each time loop, we're in numerous time loops, and I think this is going to be the final time loop where they end the Stigma of Genova. But this, I think they're changing these to look like it is in the current time loop of Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is not stuff that's altered by the singularity and what happens at the end of Remake. This is everything as it looks before the beginning of Remake, a true lead up and a part of that time loop before it is altered. Get Sisney here. I love this scene right here because of the lighting, but you also kind of see a few flaws here, which it's fine. This is nitpicky stuff, I admit, but the furring on the wings here and some of Sephiroth's chunky lighting stuff here, but honestly, the lighting thing in his hair kind of gives it almost like a textured effect, which I kind of dig. It kind of sets it apart art and look wise, so I'm kind of down with that. Important scene right there, Genesis and Hojo. Right there, Sephiroth's talking about, his buddies are gone, basically. That's straight out of the game. Everything is straight out of the game. Now, they have, with Angeal, they've given him a little facial hair, a little chin hair there, his chops are a little mightier. He's got a little bit of Wolverine going on here, which I dig. Got a little bit of a Wolverine look going on, but I don't think this is anything more than just adding facial hair to him. A new time loop that I've been saying, that I've been talking about. You all know what's up. You follow the channel, you know what's up. Time loops, baby. That's what we're talking about here. Now, right here. That's the big one right there. This is the big one. This is what's got a lot of people talking. This is the one I really wanted to focus on. Legend shall speak of sacrifice at World's End. It goes back into the whole 7 seconds till the end thing with Sephiroth. Sephiroth tells Cloud, 7 seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps, but what do you do with it? We'll see. That's basically Sephiroth saying, look, whatever happens in that 7 seconds, that's time enough for you, Cloud. But I want to see what you're going to do. That's time enough for you to get the job done, but I want to see what you're going to do. This right here, again, it's Genesis talking about, Legends will speak of sacrifice at World's End. It all is pointing toward the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's all pointing toward the end of where we're going, what's going to happen, and how are we going to get there. Genesis will absolutely have a role in what happens at the end of the game. He's not going to be a focal point, I don't think, but he will be a player. He will be a player by the end of this story. I'm excited for that. And, not a playable character, but in the story, he's going to have something to do with the outcome. But the other thing is, don't forget, Genesis fancies himself the hero, or a hero. He doesn't look at himself as a villain. He left Shinra. He rose up against Shinra because we know Shinra's a bad guy. Like, Genesis is one of the first main story characters to realize that Shinra is the bad guy. And so, in that respect, yeah, he attacks Zack, he goes after Sephiroth and everybody, but he's going after them because they're part of Shinra. So, in that respect, he still fancies himself the hero. What happens with him? That's a discussion for another video. But this right here is potent stuff. I think we're going to get a few answers by the end of Crisis Core Reunion as far as what is going on in the story. I think they're going to plant something for us. This whole trailer felt mysterious. And it's wild because it felt mysterious based on something that we already know the outcome of. So I don't know how they pulled that off with this trailer. They picked certain scenes, they picked certain quotes, they picked certain things, and they really created something really cool. So I thought this trailer was a 10 out of 10 based on the fact that we've already played this game. We know the outcome, but it looks great. It looks gorgeous. Does it look a little PS3 to PS4 era-ish? Yeah, for sure. But I wasn't expecting this to look like Remake Intergrade. And anybody that was, I feel bad for you, because you should not have been expecting that. They were basically just updating the PSP version. I think they've done a great job with it. They announced December 13th. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what they do. As a graphic designer, I wish the Crisis Core clouds and sky background wasn't blocked off like that. It kind of feels lazy, like they just cropped it. But that's nitpicky stuff. Again, as a graphic designer, I don't think I would have made that choice. But available December 13th on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Steam, everywhere you play your games. This game's going to be available. And I find the Nintendo Switch thing odd because, you know, basically this is all that you're going to be able to play of the remake saga on the Switch. So that's pretty interesting. But anyway, there was some interesting stuff, very intriguing stuff in here. I'm really excited to see what they do with it in the future, and I'll be back soon with another video talking about, I think we're going to do a Genesis video next. We're really going to deep dive into Genesis, what he is, what he's about, the character, where I think he's going, and what I think his importance could be moving forward. So be looking forward to that video. So until next time, you all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking. I will see you all in the next video. I want to say a quick thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members and supporters. If you would like to support the future creation of content on this channel, get some few extra perks and some art sent to your door every month, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. Details and links are in the video description.